Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Gita class, chapter 8, verse number 7. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Paribrajagacharya Stotara Sata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prince Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse number 7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu madanusmarayudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mamevaisha shamshayah. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu madanusmarayudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mamevaisha samsayah. Tasmat sarveshu bhuteshu mamanusmarayudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mamevaishashya samsayah. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu always, kaleshu time, Mam unto me. Anusmara, go on remembering. Yudhya, fight. Cha, also. Mai, unto me. Arpita, surrender. Mana, mind. Buddhi, intellect. Mam, unto me. Eva, surely. Eshyasi, will attain. Asamsayaha, beyond a doubt. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without a doubt. Purport. This instruction to Arjuna is very important for all men engaged in material activities. The Lord does not say that one should give up his prescribed duties or engagements. One can continue them and at the same time think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna. This will free one from material contamination and engage the mind and intelligence in Krishna. By chanting Krishna's names, one will be transferred to the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, without a doubt. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mad anushmara yudhyacha mai arpita mano buddhir mai mevaishaishi asamsaya. So as I explained in the previous class, the Bhagavad Gita has a certain format where Krishna describes many aspects of material and spiritual life. He describes the different kinds of yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. He describes the different activities of the living entities. But in between these descriptions, Krishna puts these jewels of instructions, these absolute jewels of verses which encourage one to carry on in his activities of Krishna consciousness. And this is one of these verses. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. At all time, mad anusmara yudhyacha. Simply think of me, Arjuna, and carry on your duty of fighting. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna to stop fighting or to give up his prescribed duty and go to the forest. Nor did he say, you sit down here and I will do the work. No, he said to Arjuna, you do your work that you are trained for as a kshatriya, as a warrior, as a protector of the people, but at the same time, think of me. In other words, do your work, but for my pleasure. And if you do this, my arpita, if you dedicate your work, arpita means to dedicate or to offer. If you dedicate your work to me, mano buddhir, your mind and your intelligence, if you dedicate those two, then ma me vaishyashi asamsaya, you will surely come to me. Now this verse begins with the word tasmad. Tasmad means therefore. Why therefore? Therefore, because Krishna is referring to his previous two verses in this chapter, where he's saying that yam vapi smaram bhavam, whatever you're thinking at the moment of death, tyajati ante kalevaram, when you give up your body, ante kalevaram, at the end of the body, so at that time you will attain me without fail if you are thinking of me. So the whole process of spiritual life is to come to the moment of death in full Krishna consciousness, in understanding that I want to be with Krishna, I want to carry on with my service to Krishna, and because that is the desire that the devotee has at the moment of death, because of that desire, he transfers himself to that exact situation. This is the great science of reincarnation. Now, most people on this planet today, especially the leaders in the West, the leading nations, they don't believe in reincarnation. In fact, they don't even believe in the soul. They don't even believe in God. They say they do, They say they're religious, but actually they're not. Their main religion is how to satisfy my senses, either directly or expanded satisfaction through my wife, my children, my community, my nation, all of humankind. This is their main business. Their main business is sense gratification. And when you come to the moment of death, absorbed in sense gratification, you will get another body which will give you the facility to enjoy your senses. The problem with that is sense enjoyment can be had in many, many species of life. You don't have to be a human being to enjoy your senses. Dogs, hogs, camels, asses, they enjoy the senses just as much as we do, even better. So, if we come to the moment of death, simply thinking of how to enjoy my senses through my family, through my nation, through my community, then I will take another birth where I will also have family. Animals also have families. Animals also have communities. Birds fly together. Crows go to one place. Swans go to another place, but they stick together by species. So the attachment to family and friendship and community, nation, that is there also in animal life. You do not need a human body to enjoy your senses directly or through family and friends. Therefore, if you come to the moment of death simply interested in how to enjoy your senses, you will lose this human form of life. And when you lose the human form of life, you lose the opportunity of connecting to God. And therefore, the whole process of Vedic wisdom means knowledge about spirit. The whole process is how to practice during the human form of life, how to practice in remembering Krishna, so that the moment of death, you will be transferred. Therefore, tasmat, therefore, Krishna says, if you want to be transferred to me, or if you want to get another human birth to continue your spiritual practice, then at all times, do your duty, but think of me. It doesn't say give up your duty. Our duty is according to guna and karma. Krishna says there are 4 varnas, or 4 divisions of human society. Chatur varnam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Krishna says, I have created these 4 divisions of life according to guna and karma, according to quality and work, not according to birth. You never hear Krishna says Jamma when he mentions the 4 ashram. No, Chatur Varnam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. They are divided according to quality and work. So the topmost leaders of society, the topmost position in society is one who is not attached to material life, is one who is attached to knowledge, who understands his spiritual nature. He understands that the purpose of human life is to increase his spirituality, to increase his knowledge of his spiritual being, not knowledge of his material life or his material identity. One who doesn't identify with the body, one who doesn't think I am a human being, I am an Indian, I am an American, I am a Christian, I am a Hindu, but one who thinks I am a spirit soul and I am eternally connected to the Supreme Spirit. That knowledge, that person who is interested in this knowledge is called a Brahmana. And he is the head of the society. Because you need Brahmanas to guide society on the path of spirituality. The next division is Kshatriya, one who protects. Kshat means to protect. So Kshatriya means administrators and warriors. Their job is to make sure the society is peaceful. The job of the administrators and warriors is to implement the knowledge which is the property of the Brahmanas, The Brahmanas give knowledge to the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas make sure that the knowledge is implemented in human society. Just like a parent is very, very careful that his children are educated properly. So similarly, a Kshatriya is considered the king, is considered the father of all citizens. And his main concern is how to do the best, how to educate my children so that they become successful in life. Taking another birth is not success in life. Going down the evolutionary scale is not success in life. Enjoying the senses in animal life is not giving us the pleasure which we get in a human body when we connect with the spirit. So the Kshatriya's job is to implement the knowledge given by the Brahmanas. Then the third division are the Vaishyas, or the agriculturalists, businessmen. Their business is to provide food. Everybody has to eat. And Mother Earth will provide, but it has to be, Mother Earth has to be cultivated. If you don't cultivate a field, no food grows. So the business of the Vaishyas is to provide food so that everybody meets his necessities: food, cloth, housing. This is the business of the Vaishyas. And the lowest class, or the fourth class, are Shudras. Shudras are not able to be independent. They require a master, they require someone to protect them, and in exchange, they will give service. And this four divisions are like a pyramid. The top of the pyramid is very small, and as you come down the pyramid, it increases in size more and more and more and more. Therefore, the Brahminical class is very little, the Kshatriya class is a little more, the Vaishyas a little more, and the Shudras are the most. This is how the system goes. And Krishna says, wherever you go, I have created the system. Chaturvanya maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. And although I am the one who has created the system, I am not bound by this system. So when Krishna comes on this planet, he comes in different incarnations. Sometimes he comes as a Kshatriya, as a king. Sometimes he comes as a Brahmana. But this designation does not affect Krishna. Krishna is always transcendental. Krishna already has full knowledge. Krishna has full strength. Krishna has full power to provide anything. He does not require to become a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. He is already transcendental to the four systems. When Krishna was a small baby, he was hardly able to see. He was only a few weeks old. And the great witch Putna, she came to Vrindavan to kill him. So this Putna, she was sent by Kamsa. Kamsa is the main evildoer in Krishna Lila. Kamsa represents those kings and administrators who have no knowledge of spiritual life and cannot do good for their citizens. And because they are envious of God, they are always trying to neglect or to kill God. And this is today's society. If you look at our leaderships, hardly anybody really believes in God. They say they do, but actually they don't. Because if they believed in God, they would act according to that belief. So Kamsa, he sent Putna to kill Krishna because it was predicted that Krishna would kill him one day. Demons know. They actually avoid Krishna because they know that Krishna is going to kill me. Actually, nobody can be killed because of your spirit. And the spirit cannot be killed, cannot be cut, cannot be dried, cannot be moistened. The spirit is eternal, Sat Chit Ananda. It cannot be killed, but in the mentality of being independent from God, that will be killed. The mentality of enjoying Krishna's property, the mentality of being a thief and being accountable for your action, that is killed by Krishna consciousness, and the demons do not accept this. The demons main business is pravritim cha, nivritim cha, vidurna jana asura. That the asura or the demons, they don't know how to act. They are simply interested in enjoying God's kingdom without God. So Kamsa, because he knew that Krishna was going to kill him, he sent this witch Putna to kill the baby Krishna. And she, because she was a great powerful yogi, Putna assumed the form of a very beautiful woman, and she entered into Gokula, or into the village where Krishna was born, was residing, and she was looking exactly like the goddess of fortune. So when the simple cowherd men and ladies saw this beautiful woman, they thought, oh, Lakshmi has come to see Krishna. Therefore, she was allowed into the house, and she was even given Krishna to put on her lap. And her plan was to feed Krishna from her breast, and she had smeared poison on the breast, and the idea was that Krishna would suck her breast, suck the poison, and die. But Krishna, he sucked the breast, he sucked the poison, the milk, and he killed Putna. She began to scream, leave me, leave me. She ran outside, and she expanded into her original demoniac form, which was 12 miles long, and she fell down into the fields, and she died. So Krishna was able to kill her, even though he was a baby. That means that Krishna was already God. Krishna didn't have to meditate to become God. He was already God as a baby. He didn't have to go through any process of meditation or austerity or knowledge to become God, as the Mayavadis preach. No, Krishna was always God. And because he was always God, when we associate with Krishna, and here, how do we associate with Krishna? It is explained in this verse. Mad anusmara. Think of me, yudhyacha, and do your duty. Whatever your duty may be. You may be a brahmana who is interested in knowledge, whose life is dedicated for knowledge. So get knowledge about Krishna. You might be a kshatriya who is motivated by power. So get your power and use it in the service of Krishna. You may be a Vaishya who is motivated by wealth. So take your wealth and use it for Krishna. Build a temple for Krishna. Feed the living entities which are connected with Krishna. Or you may be a Shudra who has no independence but serves the superior class. And if the superior three classes actually follow the process of Varna and Ashrama, then the Shudra's service is equally good to the service of the Brahmana. So Krishna says, Mada Nusmara, think of me, Yudhyacha. Why Yudhyacha? Why fight? Because Arjuna was a fighter. Arjuna was a warrior. So his job was to protect the citizens, and Krishna particularly wanted him to fight against those citizens who were not God conscious, and they were represented by the Kurus, especially represented by Duryodhana. Duryodhana and his advisors, Shakuni, and his other advisor, Karna, and Ashwatthama, they were against God. They were against Krishna. They were against the Pandavas who were pious. So Krishna wanted to remove them, and he wanted to put his own devotee, Yudhishthira Maharaj, onto the throne. This is the eternal battle going on between good and evil. God's mission for humanity is for us to understand our spiritual nature, and through our duties, slowly but surely uncover our spirituality in relationship with Krishna. Krishna wants to create an environment that is conducive for spiritual advancement. And why not? It is Krishna's environment. This world belongs to Krishna. I didn't create it. You didn't create it. The demons didn't create it. No president, no king, no powerful magnate, no leader of society can create even a grain of sand. We come into this world with nothing, and we leave with exactly nothing. Nothing is ours. Everything belongs to a superior authority. So even if we don't accept that Krishna is a superior authority, at minimum we have to accept there is a superior authority. How can you be a leader of society if you don't understand that very simple fact? And this is the illusion of Maya. So Krishna says, fight to Arjuna and think of me. That is your duty. Now, in whatever situation you may be, in whatever order of life you may be interested in power. As I said, then you become an administrator, a warrior. You may be interested in knowledge, then you pursue a Brahminical lifestyle. You may be interested in wealth, so you pursue an activity based on land and cow protection, agriculture. Or you may have none of these three things, so you serve one of the upper classes. Krishna consciousness is actually not Hinduism. Prabhupada was very clear that we are not Hindus. He refused to use the word Hindu. In fact, the word Hindu comes from outside India. It comes from beyond the Sindhu River, which divides Iran from the Hindu Kush, Pakistan. In those days, Pakistan was part of the Vedic program. So those people living on the other side of the Sindhu River, they call the people on this side of the Sindhu River Hindus, Hindus. And you will not find the word Hindu anywhere in the Vedic literature. What Krishna consciousness is Varna Ashrama Dharma. It is the duty which supports the 4 divisions and the 4 stages of spiritual life. So, in whatever position you may be born, according to your quality, you follow those qualities. You do your duty. If you're motivated by making money, go into business, make money, but do it honestly. Common for all 4 duties, common for society. The most important activity of the ruling class, of the kshatriyas, of the administrators, is to make sure that all the citizens of the kingdom have an opportunity to make spiritual advancement and have an opportunity to satisfy the needs. A proper king doesn't see human beings different from animals. He doesn't give protection to the human beings and send the animals to the slaughterhouse. That is limited bodily consciousness. That is not spiritual consciousness. That is not the teaching of any religion. Never mind which religion. So, whatever situation you may be, whatever motivates you, and that motivation and that activity puts you in a certain class, you do your duties in that class, but you think of Krishna. Now, we are living in Kali Yuga. We are living in times which are unprecedented in their lack of spiritual vision. Even the system of Varna and Ashrama, it is topsy-turvy. It is no longer followed. I lived in India many years, and so many criticism against the caste system, because the caste system has been vitiated. It has been transferred into caste by birth instead of caste by guna and karma. As I said, Krishna doesn't say you become a Brahmana by birth. Of course, if your father is a Brahmana, a proper Brahmana, he will train you as a Brahmana, but you must come to the standard of Brahminical life by your own qualities and your own work. My father may be the High Court judge, and because he's the High Court judge, he may send me to university to study law. I may become a lawyer and I may become a judge. But if I want to become a High Court judge, it has to be done by my work and my quality, not because my father is the High Court judge. You're not automatically a High Court judge if your father is. So similarly, you're not automatically a Brahmana or a Vaishya or a Kshatriya simply because you took birth. Taking birth in a higher caste is an opportunity to become qualified as a member of that caste. So, in whatever situation you may be, and right now, the fabric of society is so groveled, is so intricate, it is so far away from Varna and Ashrama that we have people with Brahminical qualities doing the work of Vaishyas or Shudras. We have people who have administrative qualities, do other work. For example, when I was a young man, many people used to come from America to Europe to avoid the Vietnam War. Why? Because the American government had a draft. The draft meant that every male from the age of 16, he could be called up to go and fight. But many people who were called up, they didn't have the fighting spirit. If you have the fighting spirit and you've been trained as a fighter, as a kshatriya, then when the opportunity to fight, you will embrace that opportunity. You will even die on the battlefield because you believe that if I die doing my duty, I will get a higher promotion. I will get a better body next life. I will continue. Never forget that whatever you do in this life determines your next life. If you are part of the process of Varnashram, if you understand that the duty and the purpose of life is to make spiritual progress, then if you practice like that, even if you're not able to do it, even if you think of Krishna, that I'm not able to worship you, I'm not able to give up even my bad habits, I have so many faults, but you please, let me think of you, somehow liberate me, you will get a chance next life. Because you need a human body to practice spiritual life. Because spiritual life means to control your senses. And there is no animal on this planet who is able to control his senses. The animals are working out their karma, which they have accrued from previous human births. Prabhupada gave one nice example. In the early years in America, he lived in a Bowery, so there were many drunkards. We call them winos. They would simply get money and drink. So Prabhupada said, Krishna says, Apsoham, Rasoham, Apsukonteya. I am the taste in water. So Prabhupada said, everything that has a taste, that taste is Krishna. He said, even you winos, when I go to the bar and drink their wine, if they think that this wine, this taste of this wine is Krishna, they will make progress and one day they'll come out pure devotees. Just see the vision of a pure devotee. Good. Thank you very much. I see there were several comments. Atma Vidya is reporting good evening to everyone. Hare Krishna, Atma Vidya Prabhu, Dandavats. Kars van Gemmen blesses everyone by saying, may Krishna's love settle in everyone. Wonderful. That's a beautiful prayer. And this is the prayer of the Vaishnava. Sukhino bhavantu. Let the whole world be happy. Because that is Krishna's desire. He's our Father. He wants us to be happy. He doesn't want us to waste our time in the cycle of birth and death. At the same time, you cannot be independent of Krishna. You cannot challenge Krishna in his own abode. Therefore, you come to the material world. Mandi Prayo says Hare Krishna. Pranjal Joshi also Hare Krishna. Sander Bresser, Hare Krishna. Albert de Vos, Vishnuvamsa Prabhu, Hare Bol. Krishna kills on demons, but Kaliya, Hari Hari. Rob Billings, so many demons in Vraja. Not a very peaceful place, apparently. Please elaborate if you have time left in the class. Sure, demons will come to Vraja, not a lot, but you know, Krishna was in Vraja for, I think, 14 years. Out of 14 years, I think maybe 20 demons came that are listed in the Bhagavatam. So a demon every few months. It was a sporting activity. It gave a chance to Krishna to show the strength to his friends, and it gave a chance to his friends and inhabitants to take shelter of Krishna. It is said that in the spiritual world, there are no demons, but the anxiety that the demons cause to the devotee is there so that they increase their attachment to Krishna. When the Keshi demon came and he began to neigh, the horse demon. Mother Yashoda, she became distraught. She became devastated with fear and told Nanda Maharaj, please lock Krishna in the house, don't let him out. So the result of the demon coming was an increase in the affectionate protection Mother Yashoda felt in relationship to her son. So the demons were an opportunity for the devotees of Vrindavan to become more and more attached to Krishna. And even after Krishna killed the demon, all his friends, they would write songs about the activity. They would tell their mothers, oh mother, today Krishna, he killed this great demon. So in this way, that is the purpose in the material world when Krishna brings his transcendental lila from the spiritual sky to the material planet. Madhumangala Devidasi, Hare Krishna, my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. Siya Sukai, that's right, you need a spiritual life. Hare Krishna, tell me about it. Thank you very much. Pranjal Joshi, beautiful lecture. Not at all. I'm simply I'm a puppet. There is a ventriloquist, he pulls the strings, and I'm speaking. Before I give class, I have Giriraj here, Lord Krishna, is my worshipable deity. I always humbly bow down to him and say, please Krishna, let me speak nicely. That's all. Good, thank you very much. And I invite you to the class on Friday. And all glories to you, Lotus Feet. Thank you for participating. Hare Krishna. Oh. Siya Suki says to Rob, but a better place than Holland. Every place has its ups and downs. But if you think of Krishna and do your duty, then you won't be living in Holland. You'll be living in Vaikuntha. You'll be living in the spiritual world. Thank you very much. Haribol.